Would you like a look inside one of my all-time favorite creative activities that is perfect for teenage and transfer students, and for those students on days they forget their books or have done no practice or are just in a bad mood? Stay tuned as I'm about to show you and give away all my biggest secrets. Hi, I'm Tim Topham and this is my student Will Woods, and in this video we'll be continuing the ideas that we've started in lessons 1 and 2 of my 4-chord composing course. And this lesson we're actually going to get Will composing his own chord progressions. It's going to sound really cool. I haven't had a student yet that hasn't absolutely loved this activity, so he's already got a smile on his face. That's good. I recommend you watch lessons 1 and 2 before you go onto this, as it is a sequenced plan of lessons. Remember too that of course this isn't designed to be used over 3 weeks. It could be a very advanced student who could do that, or maybe not very advanced, but perhaps an adult student who's been playing for some time and is moving to a chordal approach. Maybe they could, but really you'll need to take this at the pace that suits your student. So just a reminder too, this is lesson 3. It's the last of my free lessons that I'm giving away. Really happy to give these away on my blog at timtopham.com/chords. You can grab the lesson plan for this lesson as well as lessons 1 and 2. And look, with these 3 free lesson plans, you can do a whole lot of work with your students. So I'm happy to give this away so that you can get into the idea of composing and playing chords with your students. But really, for maximum impact, I'd love for you to consider joining my community, and when you'll get full access to modules 3 through to 10 as well. And I'll tell you about them and exactly what you'll be getting right at the end of this video. So in this lesson, I'm going to unpack my idea around 4-chord composing approach in full, step by step, with Will here, who's never done this before. And I'll give you some extension activities and other things and songs that you can play with your students. It's going to be great fun. Ready to get started?
Yep.
Let's do it. So last lesson, you learned a few cool chord progressions.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a favorite out of those 3?
It's probably the start of the Beatles' Let It Be, I'd say.
Yeah. So can we play that just one time, just to get your head back into the swing of things? We're in the key of C, right?
Yep.
So our chords were C major, and
then went into a G.
Yeah, good.
And went up to an
And then
F.
Great. So let's play that pop style, so you know how to do that, either single notes or octaves in your left hand. We'll use some pedal. And how many beats on each chord to work with this?
2 or 4, whatever.
2. I think it's going to be 2 on this. Yeah, let's go 2. Here we go. Ready, and so you did the same chord progression a couple of times, which isn't exactly the Let It Be, but that's totally cool. There was this chord progression that you just did, and I asked you whether you could work out. Did you work out any other songs that use this?
Pictures of Me. I'm not sure who it's by. You can do the Australian song from the Land Down Under.
Yeah.
That one. Don't Stop Believing. That works as well, I think, by memory. There's a lot of different ones.
Great. All right. Do you want to try playing one and singing along?
Sure. Okay,
what's an easy one?
Probably Pictures of Me.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I believe that's right. Yeah,
I kind of know, like pictures of me, pictures of me.
Can You Feel the Love Tonight is another one.
Oh yeah, let's do that one. That's good. Yeah, well, teachers will know that one. Let's go a bit faster. Here we go.
So,
can you feel the love tonight? Yeah, good. One thing, when students are playing along, you'll notice that Will's is getting into it. I've got quite a bright, loud piano. I just want to do that one more time, the Can You Feel Love Tonight, when you play quietly so I can actually hear it, because Will's got a beautiful voice. Let's try it out. 1, 2, 3.
So can you feel the love tonight?
In this land. chord changes.
I don't know the
But
next
anyway,
words.
yeah.
I just know that.
So doing this kind of thing with students, really, really fun. And don't be afraid of getting students singing. If they want to play pop, it's much easier to sing it. That's what it was designed for. That's how it sounds best.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, beautiful. So let's make up our own one. This is where it gets really, really exciting. So what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce Will to this diagram. It's called the circle of fifths. I use it with just about every student in every lesson. And it's going to help him unpack the relationship between these chords in a key. So we'll have that up in front of you over there. What we've found, I think, as we've been playing, is that we've been doing a lot of chord progressions in the key of C, right? Mm-hmm. Which is a great way to start. Mm-hmm. What's the chord on the left if you go around the clock from C?
F major.
Great. And if you go right?
G major.
Beautiful. And below C is its related minor chord. What's that?
A minor.
Great. And the same for F?
D minor.
And G?
E minor.
Fantastic. What if I told you that these 6 chords together tend to make up most of the chord progressions that we use today, right? And we've already seen that because all the chord progressions that we played last week, which chords did they use?
All of those. F major, C major, G major,
F,
A minor.
C, G, A minor. We haven't used D minor or E minor yet, have we?
No.
But they actually work just as well. Now, I think it's good for students to know that F, C, and G are the primary triads in the key of C, and A, D, and E are the secondary triads. And if you work in A minor, then the minors become the primaries and the relative majors become the secondaries. Don't worry about that too much for now. But it's important to know that because we're going to actually go right now and make one up. So what I do for students is in their book, or you can do this on a little whiteboard like this, totally fine. I'm going to write C, and I'm going to give Will 3 spaces. And Will, your job is to fill in the blanks using any of the 6 chords that we know are going to work in this key. So there you go. And for this, I don't get the student to play it. I just want them to just use the circle of fifths.
Alright, sure. Does it have to stick to primary and secondary triads? Or can it
just the primary and secondary triads?
Yep.
So either or,
sure.
In the key of C. Don't think too much.
Yeah, okay. Sure, let's just go.
Great. So I'll show you what Will's done. Masterpiece. C, F, A, and G. Now, you've forgotten one thing about this A chord.
It needs a little M down the bottom to symbolize its minor.
Very good. Okay, so we've got this chord progression, C, F, A minor, G. Should we try playing it?
Sure.
I think this might sound kind of familiar, but let's try it out. Here we go. So pop style again, chords in right hand, left hand octaves. Here we go.
2 beats.
Your choice. It's your composition. What do you want to do?
I like 2 beats. So
Great.
Let's go.
You count us in.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, and...
Nice job. Great. Well, how does that sound?
Better than I thought it would sound when I wrote it down.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's kind of like magic. It's just like bang, it kind of works really, really well. So let's rub those out and let's do, there you go. Let's just do random other ones. Because so far, we've still stuck to the same
Primary triad.
4.
Yeah.
No, we had a minor.
Yeah, the minor.
So let's throw in a couple of the ones that we haven't heard in the context. Yeah. And I wouldn't be rubbing these out. I'd be actually keeping these in in their book.
Alright, let's just change that.
Very nice. Alright, so here's our new chord progression, C, F, D minor, and G. Try it out.
Alright. Okay.
Why don't we do 3 beats?
3 beats.
For each
Alright.
of this. 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. 1, 2, and... Let's try that one again. Do you want, let's just go with the quick chords. So we're going to C, F, go right down to D. Oh yeah. That's it. Nice job. Here we go. So 1, 2, and 3. Sorry, wonderful. Repeat. really different.
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, how would you describe the difference?
It's just...
Particularly with the D minor.
Yeah, it just changes the tone of the piece and it makes it sound more rich because you're going, instead of going down to the F back up to the A, you're going further down to the D, so it gives it like a different feel.
Yeah, it's a little bit dark.
Yeah.
Right? That chord, that's pretty seriously minor chord, right? Nice work. Now, let's do one more, and this time let's work. Actually, no. One thing what you'll find students will sometimes do is Will's chosen G on both the last chords, right?
I noticed that.
Just give me a different one. Let's chuck a different one in there.
E minor.
E minor. Good. Let's play that now, and have a listen to the difference.
Yep. In 3 again.
Yeah, let's go 3 again. I kind of like that. 2 and 3 and... So, how does that sound now? Do you like that one?
It feels like there needs to be another note at the end. It feels like it's not finished, in my opinion, if you get what I'm saying.
100%.
Yeah.
And there's a musical theory reason why. And you might even know. Do you know? It's something to do with this chord here.
Probably not.
So this chord here, when we play this chord and then play the starting chord, we're playing what's called a cadence.
Mm-hmm.
You've probably heard that in music class.
A couple of times, yeah.
So a cadence is that kind of... that classical musicians love so much, right? But the reason why it sounds so complete is because you're moving from one of the primary triads
to a second.
To the tonic note. So you're going either F to C or you're going G to C.
Okay.
And it always sounds much more complete, right? So for students, this is a great reason for talking about cadences, because a lot of the time when we explore cadences, it's in the context of a theory book and no one really understands it. But the whole context of a cadence is that an F to C or a G to C tends to sound much more complete and thorough. So students will have more success with their chord progressions if this last chord is an F or a G. So let's try an F and see what that sounds like.
Yep.
Because we know G works, we know that E minor doesn't so much. You can play this one on your own.
Great. In 3 again?
C, F, D minor, F.
Yep. In 3 again?
Your choice. You can. Mate, let's change it up.
Alright. Don't want to go back to 2, but can we go back to 2?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Again.
Alright, it's all good. So a bit slow.
Yeah,
2, 3, 2. I hear it wants to do this. Okay, right? Again, F, G, C. So the F, C doesn't work so well there, but it's not because it's not to do with the cadence in this case, it's because you've already used the F here, I think. So these are the kinds of conversations and discussions you can have with students. There is so much fun stuff to be had in this. And look, we're just doing either 2, 3 or 4 beats in a bar, we're using pedal, we're not doing anything particularly exciting with it, but I mean, we could do a little kind of a deli kind of pattern with it. There are so many alternatives. Let's do one chord progression in A minor this time. There you go. Again, don't think too much, just fill in the blanks.
With the red or the black?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
Yeah, it's all good.
G appears at the end again.
Alright, that's cool. You have that there.
Alright.
And let's play this one. Let's go back to 4.
Sure.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, this is an app called iReal Pro. I've talked about this a fair bit in other videos. And with this, you can actually, I've just hit the bottom right here. There's next to the play button, there's like a 3 bars. And you can actually I'm going to turn off the bass and the piano. So we've only got the drum pattern. And I'm going to turn off the jazz style. We'll just go to a pop, maybe a rock beat. And we might just turn the speed down a little bit and press play. And so now the student, it's a little bit like the Super Metronome Groovebox app that I showed you before, but there's some more variety in it. So let's try playing along that progression. Here we go, A minor, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 beats each. Great. That was pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Really different,
yeah.
Really groovy. The great thing about this app too is with one click I can choose, we're going to play this reggae style now. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Or just for the fun of it, let's do disco. Here we go. It's faster. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. It's a great app for really quickly changing styles. And by changing styles with students as well, you can start to show them, well, what is it that makes these kind of things actually different in musical terms. And it's often that beat. But we can also later on in this course, I'll uncover and talk about some of the things you can do with different patterns and styles on the piano too. So, that's pretty fun?
It was.
Yeah, good. And that was a really quick overview of it all. One thing to mention, kind of the board and the black text are back. When it comes to A minor, you're going to have a great opportunity here to talk to students about the E chord in A minor, right? So I'm just going to change this progression a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A minor, D, let's go F.
Yep.
So if I play this, don't worry so much, Will, just do it quickly. When you're cadencing now in the key of A minor, you're going to want to use an A, B, C, D, E, the 5 chord, so E, or A, B, C, D, the 4 chord, right? So E minor should work, but what we find in the case of songs and chord progressions in a minor key, the dominant chord, the 5 chord, tends to be a major chord because we like raising the 7th in minor scales. So the A minor scale has a G sharp. If you play an E chord with a G sharp in it, it becomes a major chord. And so a chord progression like this, I don't think it's going to work. It's not the best example, but if I play an E major chord, it should sound a little bit more complete at the end. Rather than I did a 7th by mistake. So there's some great talking points about raising 7th in minor keys and making those connections again with scales. This is the reason I love this approach so much to teaching students. Not only is it great fun, but you can uncover so many of these great little teaching points too. So Will, for homework, you're going to compose 4 new progressions in C and 4 in A minor.
Okay.
All right. Make sure you write them down, just as we've been doing, and then I want to hear your favourite.
Okay.
Next week. Favourite major and minor one.
Yep.
Again, playing the pop style, you could do 3 beats in the bar, whatever you want to do. And for extension activities, I've suggested that students could explore a longer chord progression, so 8-bar progression could be kind of interesting. And if they're really getting good at this, they could explore a little bit outside that circle of fifths. So can I grab that sheet? So at the moment, we're working exclusively in this block because we're in C major. But for a student that's composing an 8-bar progression, maybe they could add one of these or one of these, throw it in, see how it works. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. But again, for extension activities, that's a great one to do. A good progression to explore for students is the canon in D, but in C, for the traditional canon for this. So I've written that down in the progressions to explore section of the sheet. And I've also suggested 2 songs that you can play now. They're just 6-4-1-5 progressions. One of them is Africa by Toto.
Yeah.
On that track, yeah. So this is F sharp, D, A, and E. So I'm trying to get students to explore outside of C. Or Apologise by One Republic, which uses the same sequence in E flat major. And I've written that down there for you as well. So heaps to work on. This could be, depending on how your student goes, this could be like a month's worth of work. It could be a group class or a special summer camp thing that you do. I really hope you have fun with it. Enjoy it. And again, this is the last of the free lessons that I'm giving out about this course. It's a 10-part course, and you've probably just gone through lessons 1, 2, and 3. So you've got a great grounding in what I'm doing. Let me tell you about what's coming up. Lesson 4, we go on to creating melodies, using pentatonic and scale notes to create melodies and hooks. And it's amazing how much pop music today uses just 5-note pentatonic scales for melodies. That's why they're so catchy. In lesson 5, we're going to talk about and explore sus chords, add 2 chords and slash chords. Lesson 6, we're going to add styles and patterns. We're going to talk about form and structure and start putting multiple chord progressions into a song. That's in lesson 7. In lesson plan 8, we're going to talk about sevenths and borrowed chords and bass lines. Lesson 9 is all about apps and technology. I'll actually go through and demonstrate particularly how GarageBand can be used with this. Really, really good fun. And finally, in lesson 10, some more advanced topics and where you could go after this. So if you'd like to access the rest of the modules and you're not yet an InnerCircle member, then I'm offering a really special discount. Again, head to timtopham.com/chords. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and you'll be able to find out everything you need to know, grab a discount code and jump in and grab the full course whenever you're ready. And if you're wondering more about, you haven't heard about this community that I run of piano teachers, then just head to timtopham.com/community and you'll be able to see videos and find out exactly what you get. Because of course, this course is only one of the many, many benefits of being a teacher in my inner circle. I really hope you've enjoyed this introduction. Thank you so much, Will, for joining me. It's been good fun. And Will and I will hopefully see you in lesson 4.